You will never have to write another blog post again after watching this tutorial because AI has taken over blogging. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to set up your n8n so that you can write content every hour, every day. While you sleep, your whole workflow is creating content for you directly to WordPress. It's a step-by-step tutorial. There's no coding required and there's only a few notes. So stick around till the very end and then I will teach you other different levels of intermediate and also expert level on how you can make this blog post super amazing and rank you on the top of all SEO keywords in your niche. Now, before we get started, let me just show you about a blog that I have completely automated. So this blog is articles.m0.com. In this blog, I write about three main topics. It's AI, automation, and business ideas. So these are my three categories and my content pillars that I write every day on. Of course, it's not me writing it. It's all AI writing the content. This is few of the content generated. Oh, look, there's a whale. And let's just see one of them to see what kind of quality blogs can you expect from this whole workflow. This is all created by the advanced workflow, but during the simple workflow, you will learn a thing or two on how to generate blog posts like this. Right, so we have a title, we have categories, we have tags, we have images. These are all components of a blog that helps you rank on the top. We have the content of the article, and then we have different bullet points, comparisons, tables, charts, and graphs. And these are all components that makes people interested in your blog. You also have outbound links and inbound links, which tells Google, Bing, and other search engines that your blog is top notch and is pretty much legit because you have considered other factors as well. So once we already can see what we are expecting, let's get started. All right, this is our n8n workflow. As you can see, it's pretty empty. So let's get it hooked up to something. The first thing that we might need is an AI agent. An AI agent is a node in n8n that helps us connect to ChatGPT, to Grok, and other LLMs and use their technology to create stuff for us. And in this case, we'll be creating blogs. So as you can see, by default, it's connected to a chat trigger node. Now we don't want this. We don't want to tell our AI agent what to create every hour. We want it to be working on itself. So we will need a schedule trigger node. And in a schedule trigger node, we can tell the whole workflow to run once every few days, once every few hours. And here we'll set it up to run once every hour. Now that we have got this configured, the next thing we need is a chat model. Many of you are familiar with OpenAI ChatGPT, so we'll be using that for this whole workflow. As you can see, I already have my account connected, but if you don't worry, I will teach you how to get it up. The first thing that we need is to create a new credentials, and they require a lot of information such as API key. But where do we find them? We need to navigate to platform.openai.com and go /API keys. It requires you to log in to create an account, but once you have done, you can see all your API keys here. I will create an API key for this demo. I'm going to call it demo. And now we have our own API key that we can use to call upon ChatGPT, Grok into our workflow. All right, so let me just copy the API key, press save, and we're good to go. It's that simple. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using ChatGPT 5 Nano. Why do I use Nano? Because it's the cheapest cost. All right, we don't need any memory connected. We don't need any tool for now. But what do we need is required a structured output format. So now we require to configure the AI agent. First thing is we no longer have a chat node. So we need to define our user message as well as our system message. So a system message is where we tell the AI agent how to behave, how to respond to a task, and how to think. So now I've informed the AI agent on how to behave, what it needs to produce, as well as the kind of character limit. So we need to make sure at least it's 1500 so that the blog has enough content for us to rank on top of many of the SEO keywords. Next, we're going to have a user message. For the user message, let's just say I want to write about top books in 2024. All right. Now we require a specific output format. Why? So that the AI agent does not hallucinate. For example, if we provided a JSON example like this, it might not relate to much of our blog. So we need to define on what kind of data do we expect. So one is we require the title of the blog, and second is we require the content of the blog. For the title, we expect a string, which is basically some text. And for the content, we also require string. And we don't really need items. What we might need is description. Description as in we need to tell what kind of data this is. So this is content, HTML content of the blog. All right, let's try it out. So with this whole workflow, I'm expecting that once it completes running, we have a title as well as we have the content that we can directly plug into our WordPress and publish it as an article. As we can see, we use ChatGPT Nano. It takes about 20 seconds to 1 minute to draft a good long article of 1500 words. Later, we need to check also if the article does indeed fit 1500 words and what can we do to maximize the kind of word count and the SEO indexing. Okay, now we already have an output of the workflow. We already have a title. We already have the content. And now what we're going to do is we're going to include this content inside the WordPress blog. So we are going to include a WordPress create a post. So now we are instructing WordPress to create the article. Okay, next is we need to make sure that we already have an account, and if we do not, I will teach you how to configure it. So as you can see, I already have a few accounts connected, but I'm just going to create a new credential. Over here they require your username, your password, and your WordPress URL. I'm going to be posting it to this website, so I'm going to copy paste the URL. Now we only have two more fields to search for, the username and the password. Now I want you to log into your WordPress account, and you will be receiving a backend like this. Scroll down all the way to the user section and you will see a few users already created. Now I want you to create a new user that we're going to be using to post content from n8n. I'm going to call this user tools at amp0.com. Okay, we need to save this password as it will be useful later. Send the user notification, sure. And role, we need to make sure it's at least an author, editor, or administrator. Okay, add the user. And now the user has been created. Okay, now that we already have a user, I want to log into the user's account. The password we received before is not the password that we're going to use for n8n. So I want you to log out. And I want you to log in with the new account that you have created. Okay, use the password that was generated previously. And now you're already in the dashboard. Scroll all the way to your profile and scroll to the bottom. Here you will see a new application password name. So this is something that we require for n8n because n8n is an application here. So let's create a new application for n8n, add application password. And now we'll have a password for n8n. Copy this, let's paste it in the password section. The username tools.com is your previously registered email. Your password is from your WordPress application password and your WordPress URL. Let's press save. And then let's drag and drop the title. Let's add the content. Here we go. Okay, optionally, you can also add other stuff like the category and maybe the tags. So the categories you can set in your WordPress section, post categories. Here you have a list of categories that already exist, as well as the tags. Right? For this one, we're going to name it as V1. V1, we're going to create a new tag. I'm just going to show you how it all works. So now that we have a new tag, we are going to create a content with a category of, um, let's say, automation. And let's create a new tag. It does not yet appear, so we got to refresh the list. And now we have V1. Right. I'm going to post it to my WordPress and hope everything works well. Oh wow, we already created. Okay. One thing you need to note is that the status is draft. We have not yet published the article. It's still a draft. Let us view the article and see how it was created. Top books to look forward to in 2024. We do not yet have an image, but we already have a category and we already have a tag. A Midnight Library. I actually read this book. It's very nice. And we have a few other books that we can read. It's very direct and it's very much a list. Maybe we need to customize it a little bit more. But one thing that I feel is most important is the image. So let's set that up really quickly. Okay, before we set the post to production, we need to make sure that we upload an image first. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit the HTTP node. Because the WordPress node in n8n does not yet have an upload image feature. Maybe it'll have in the future. I don't quite know. But for now, let us create a post request to our WordPress. So what I need you to do is to get the link of the WordPress domain that we already have. And then we're going to hit the following endpoint. /wp/wp/v2media. You're going to require some authentication, but n8n helps a lot. Let us choose a predefined credential type and search all the way for WordPress. Okay, you choose a WordPress account, and now it allows us to use the previous WordPress account that we authenticated to send the image. Right? We need to send headers. We need to define what kind of information are we sending. So here we want to type content disposition, and we need to, I've already created this before, so let me just write attachment file name. Now we need to say that it's image slash we do not yet have a slug, so let us just create a slug really quickly. Let's just take the title that we have, right, and let's format the title to replace all spacebar with a dash. It's a quick hack. I don't recommend you to do this in production, but gets the job done. Okay, we need to upload the image. I just realized that we have not created an image yet, right? So we need to get an image somewhere and then send it to n8n via a binary file. It's usually office data. Okay, so now we already have a way to upload images, but we need to generate the images first. So how I would do this is I would just use OpenAI generate an image. Generate an image, DALL-E 3. What is the prompt? Let us just use the title of the image as a prompt. Simple, very simple. Okay, let us test this out, and then once we have the data, we will be sending the data to WordPress. All right, let's give it a go. Hopefully the image is good. I don't really know what kind of image it'll create. I'm very curious. Maybe it'll create a rack of books. Maybe it'll create a title, a banner. Right, let's see if this is successful. Oh, we have a green light. Wow, no errors. Okay, first let us see the image that we created. We press a view. Oh wow, it looks pretty legit. Yeah, looks very nice. Right, and then we have already posted it to WordPress, and we have a link for the image. Oh, there was an error of finding the real JSON. Oh, because we added something before that. So I need you to go back to create a post. Okay, and then we're going to replace this, yeah, the title, move it here, and we're going to edit a few things like this. Ta-da! And this should create us a better image slug URL. We're going to upload it to WordPress, and then in WordPress we are going to update the post. So we're going to do a few things. First, we're going to tell that we're going to update this post, and we want to change a few things, right? So we want to change the status, we want to publish it, and we want to change the image. I see we do not have a set image function here, so we might have to create one more step right before this, another HTTP post. So I'm just going to copy paste this, and the function of this HTTP post, we're going to modify it a little bit so that we are able to set the image of the WordPress. Okay, we're going to go to our original website, the API endpoint. We're going to change this to posts, and then we're going to refer to the previous post ID. We create a post, use this post ID. Bang. Okay. And then we're going to go all the way, preferred API type, and then we're going to change this to featured media. Okay, here we're going to tell the media ID that was just recently uploaded. All right, that should be all good. We don't need to send a body, and we need to make sure it's still post. We need to make sure that it's not send headers, but instead it's send query parameters. Okay, ready? Once we've already set this, then we can set it to publish. Let's try. Okay, here it's running our previous changes to the slug URL. Now it's attempting to re-upload with the new slug URL, and it'll create a new ID. Okay, let's see. Okay, the slug URL has changed. Now the image, stop books to look forward to 2024 PNG. Great. Let's see the HTTP request. It's already able to send the featured media. Great. And yeah, let's publish the blog. And it's published. Let's look at the URL just created. All right, now we have a whole page, an article with a beautiful image and some text to see which are the best books of 2024. Now the image is a bit square. I doubt it will look good compared to all my other articles side by side. Yeah, see, it's a bit cropped. So let us readjust the notes before and make sure that everything goes, the image generated is more horizontal. Okay, let us change the resolution. Okay, this is a square. I think this is width into height, right? So 1792 should make it a bit horizontal. Let's see. Let's see if this is really the case. That way it will not get cropped whenever I generate new images. Perfect, I guess. Not the image I was looking forward to, but at least it's horizontal now. And I think it should look better in our articles. With this setup, you just need to activate it here. And now it will run every hour for you, and you can create a blog post. As you can see, the resulting blog post there's still a few things that can be improved. This is the article generated, and I think there's a lot that we can still improve on further. Like, there's no outbound links. What if I want to check out the book? What if I want to read it? Where can I find this book? Right? There's no outbound links. Maybe it'll look better if there's images beside the books. Maybe a good way to compare how many sales that they have. And I think we have a long way to go to improve this so that we can make it more interesting for readers. Right? I really don't think this is 1500 words. Let me just quickly copy paste this into a word counter. Yeah, it's only 500 words. So let's choose a different model. Let's tweak it kind of a bit. And with time, we'll understand which model actually works best with this whole flow. Now we have already predefined that we want um, to write about top books in 2024. But what if we don't want to write about top books? What if we want to let the AI decide what it wants to write about? So to do that, I'm going to add one node before this, open AI, and then I'm going to ask it to message a model. Here, for the model, we're going to choose the search 4o search mini search preview. All right, an interesting topic today. Let's say about
Quite an interesting topic. Latest news today. Simple one-line average.
Okay, and then we're gonna hook it up. See the results. U.S. President Donald Trump meet with Russian with the conflict in Ukraine. Typical. Typical politics. Right, so now we're gonna hook our topic prompt from the content before. Okay, and then we're gonna run the whole workflow. And this time it's gonna create a fresh topic that's not related to our related to books anymore. So let's see. All right, let's look at the results. We have a new blog post. Bitcoin reaches record high. Wow, super exciting. So follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will update you regarding the next tutorial that we have for intermediate as well as for advanced. Right, so we're going to keep improving this workflow. It might look a little bit more complex, but you're going to have a great journey, and you know that your blog post can generate a lot of leads and a lot of traffic for you. I hope this helps. Hit the subscribe button below and comment us if you have any questions. All right, thanks a lot.